It's time for the Wimmera Report, and it is Scotty Stewart from the Warwick Herald who writes the pages and makes sure the copy is going out, and does a whole heap of other things too in a very good country regional newspaper. He joins me now. G'day, Scotty. How are you?
G'day, Wayne. Yeah, going well, thanks.
Good. Well, the news that was greeted for folk across the Wimmera has been that we will play that missed round of matches. It got missed twice through the lockdowns, and it is a good one that the competition now sees the clubs all get to play each other at least once.
They do, yeah. They met during the week and decided that round 16 would basically be what replayed into 17. So yeah, just sit there with everyone will get to play each other once at least, and whatever happens in the next few weeks, everyone would have had that opportunity to do that, and that's going to happen this weekend with this round. So 2 rounds left in the season, and it's all interesting. And at the end of the day, I think everyone's still going to finish hopefully with the same amount of games and same amount of buys and same amount of lockdown games. So it'll all even itself out. But interesting round coming up.
It certainly is. Having a look at the premiership tables a bit earlier with Coleman, I think the scenarios that we've got are that the Minyip Matawa and the Southern Mallee Giants look pretty safe, and Stawell looks pretty safe with already having 7 wins and the 2 buys or 2 rounds of lockdown. Southern Mallee Giants, the same figure. Then you go to Dimboola. They're at 32 premiership points, Saints 32 and Horsham 24. Now, the question, I suppose, is can Horsham still make it? Because they only have really one more, or a couple of games still to go, but can they make it and displace Dimboola? And I think there's still a chance that they can if Dimboola's percentage dropped and theirs rose, and Dimboola lost both games and Horsham were able to get home. But I think it's an unlikely situation for Horsham. We may well have our top 5.
Yeah, look, it's you're right mathematically, and if the results fell, one way or the other, you're definitely spot on there with Horsham and either Horsham, Saints or Dimboola. But it's a big ask, isn't it? They're 2 games behind. The percentage will help them. But look, this weekend, I mean, they've got a pretty tough draw to finish with the Demons with Minyip Matawa this weekend, and then that battle against Horsham. It'd be really interesting, wouldn't it, if the Demons got up over the Boroughs this weekend, and it would set up that game for next weekend, assuming that maybe the Giants got over Dimboola this weekend. But there's a lot of hearsay there, but yeah, it'd be interesting, wouldn't it? It's bring it into that last round where Dimboola and Horsham would be playing for the last spot in the top 5.
Unlikely to happen. Let's take a look at the game, because Minyip Matawa are flying along, and it would just be that every second week coming out to play footy is probably what Minyip Matawa would actually like at the moment. I mean, getting their players cherry ripe, ready for finals.
Yeah, well, you never know with that. Whether they like coming off breaks or whatever. I don't think anyone likes a lockdown break, and especially that one we went through last weekend. It wasn't the greatest there. But yeah, look, the lockdowns are probably not taking any gloss off anything, but Minyip Matawa, like before all these lockdowns happened, they were flying along and putting in some really good, playing some really good football, and they played that one a couple of weeks ago in the heavy conditions down there at Stawell. So I think this weekend they're going to really appreciate the sun shining and getting out and really those last 2 rounds of the season, and really getting back to that form that they had during the middle of the year, because it was premiership winning form, and they're favourites. Obviously they're clear on top, and they'll end the finals as a clear favourite. But yeah, the next 2 weeks they're really wanting to put that bit of consistent footy together, and this weekend they'll start with that one.
Certainly will be. You tip between Dimboola and the Southern Mallee Giants. They go to Beulah. You just reckon that the Giants have just got enough, even they've lost Denham out of their side, their big forward, but they brought in a young Jonty Bellinger for his first game out of the 2s. He's been going well. I just can't see whether Dimboola can get it done. They got Lant, the 2 Lant boys. One of them's not playing in this game. I think that the Giants might start favourite here.
Yeah, I reckon. I definitely would say that the Giants will start favourite, especially up there at Beulah on their home ground. And taking a good look at Dimboola last weekend, I mean, they were good. The Warwick Eagles played a pretty good game of footy too last start. And but yeah, Dimboola, they are a really good side. But at the moment, they've just maybe just having a little bit of a battle, just putting that all that full teamwork together out on the park. And Coach Justin Bugler there, he'd be looking to steady his side down over the next couple of weeks before the finals. And this weekend against the Giants, that would be a really good stepping stone into setting themselves up. But I'm with you with the tip there would be the Giants. Up there at home. I think, you've mentioned there a couple of fellas that might not be there through the travel restrictions and that, but they're both going to put pretty good teams in the park. And, look, it's really interesting. I've been looking forward to this game, all season, basically. The round one, they couldn't get to do it because of lockdown, and then last week there was lockdown, so they do get a chance to do it again. So, this is a really interesting game, but I'll be with you on the Giants here, I reckon.
Ararat take on Nil down at the Rats' home deck. It's probably a consolation game in the last couple of weeks for both clubs of what to think about what might have been. But I think it's at this time too where the clubs, the long road trip for the Nil boys, but I guess you start to look at what are we going to build on from the end of the season for next year?
Yeah, they... Interesting for Nil in that they last week, the lockdown comes and they were making that long trip down to Ararat. And you'd think the parents of the under-14ers would be thinking, it's locked down. We might not have to make that trip. But anyway, it's been replayed. So they will be making the trip down the highway and Ararat, Nil, I should say, they're still looking to get that first win of the season. And another interesting point there, if we were doing it the normal draw, they would have been playing the Warwick Eagles this weekend, but that's not going to happen anymore. So probably down to Ararat and, hopefully put in a good effort against the Rats. But you'd think Ararat at home would be probably too strong. And coming off that win they had against Horsham Saints a couple of weeks ago, they'll still be pretty confident and feeling good about themselves, I think.
Yeah, certainly will. You mentioned about the Eagles and the Nil game. That would have been a great one for both clubs, given the closeness of the first time that they did play and you guys got the win. But the Saints are your opposition at Anzac Park. Of course, there's no crowds and so forth, but I reckon the kids will be watching this one pretty closely in the under-14s earlier on, and the parents might be driving past the Oval, with one parent sitting in there, and maybe the surrounds of the Oval will have a few people walking the dog to see what's happening.
Yeah, they'll be checking out the scoreboard on that one, I would imagine. I think it's second versus third, isn't it? So might be a bit of a prelude to a couple of weeks when they'll probably meet up in the first week of the final. So a good hit out for the youngest Eagles there this weekend. But that senior game, it should be an interesting game. I've spoken about before with the Eagles, their last hit out against Timbul. It was they played a really good game of footy and their best game for the season, and it was a really good game to watch. So it will be interesting. The Saints, they are, as we've spoken about, coming off that loss to Ararat, so they'll be keen to just cement that position in the top five. Not sure if they're going to make it any further than fourth or fifth, so they'll probably set themselves up for an elimination final. But they'll be keen to put that win on the board, and it'll be a game that's going to be played in some pretty good conditions, and it's going to be played on an oval that hasn't had football on it for probably 2 months now, with the lockdowns and teams being away and what have you. So it'll be a good day, and the sun will be shining on our Anzac Park there, so it'll be a good day.
Certainly be a good day, and the Saints won't want to drop a match heading into finals. But your blokes last time against Dimboola actually hit the front, I think, in the third quarter, if I remember, and could put in a showing. These young kids look out on their home deck for Warwick, and if it's a nice day, weather-wise and so on, maybe the fleet of foot young Eagles could trouble the bigger-bodied Saints. But we'll wait and see. It's going to be a good round of Wimmera football. And Scotty, look forward to getting back to maybe some normality for the final home and away matches of round 18 next week, when we'll discuss it and talk about it all again.
Yeah, no worries, man. We'll do.